Has everybody had a good scoff this morning?
Yes, sir!
Junior non-commissioned officer cadre is a really significant step up. This is not a soldiering course, this is a command and leadership course. We train them to be able to be leaders and commanders, and then we assess them at the end to check that they've met the standard that the Army sets.
Too slow.
The purpose of Junior NCO cadre is to get people onto that first rung of the ladder for leadership. It clearly teaches people how to be a Junior NCO, but also tests their ability in physical robustness and, more importantly, mental robustness, and how they can motivate themselves as well as motivate a team as they become junior leaders.
The 1st Battalion, the Rifles Regiment, are based here at Alexander Barracks for 2 years as part of British Forces Cyprus, giving the soldiers on this junior non-commissioned officer cadre a unique experience that we have exclusive access to for the 7 weeks. The term cadre is used to describe a small group of people specially trained for a particular purpose or profession.
It's going to be tough. Obviously the pre-fatigue on the beach gets them into that mindset of just knuckle down and drive through. It'll be tough, but this is where we'll see the true leaders amongst the group and see those who are just nice and loud for the sake of it.
Do you remember your Junior NCO cadre?
Unfortunately, I do.
Shoulder height, let's go!
I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get down here ready for first parade at 5. And then we started getting absolutely melted on fizz. Went straight onto the beach, got a nice little beasting on the beach where it was going into the water, and then it was a relief when I seen logs, but then that was just even more of a beasting going through the Bondu.
The soldiers' leadership qualities are assessed early on, getting them to problem solve in a non-military setting, showing they can communicate effectively and get the best from their team.
We've set up here 9 different stations, each of which is a different command task. Each person that goes through each station will be appointed commander for that activity, and they essentially get delivered a brief. They then have to formulate a plan, brief that plan to their section, and then attempt to complete the task. They'll then afterwards have a bit of a debrief and get some feedback from the section commanders from their platoons.
If it does clear the fence, we can push it a lot further because we've got that much space. So if you lot just hold on to it like that, and then I'll just climb onto it, yeah. Let's try it.
When they're briefed, I think quite a few of them have thought, this is a kid's game. I think I quote one of the riflemen from earlier. And then actually getting down to it, it was a lot more complicated than he first anticipated.
You're going to send it for 2 miles. Everyone happy with that?
Yes, sir.
The times yesterday were quite pathetic. Today, I want to see a bit better from all of you. Everyone happy?
Yes, sir.
You're going to be started by the bugle. Have a bit of regimental pride. Dig deep. Everyone happy?
Yes, sir.
Happy.
Let's go!
There was a little inkling that there was going to be more than just a 2-miler, but obviously you've got to wait and see what happens.
So we're going to do the opposite route of what we just did. It's going to be a half loop of area 2 and then back through the way that we just went.
We're carrying 16 kilos of kit, not including our rifle, which weighs another 5 kilo, 4.5.
And you've done that twice, have you? You did it by yourself?
Yeah, we've done it twice.
And that's very important for you as leaders of the future, is talent spotting and seeing things in people that they don't see for themselves.
Marvin Manny Manfred, a Falklands veteran, started his career as a private soldier. Having risen through the NCO ranks, he knows what it takes to lead soldiers.
Many of the steps that they've taken, I've trodden before them. So hopefully they can learn from some of the mistakes that I've made. You can recreate excitement, but not actual fear. And there must be a mechanism to replace that fear or to overcome that fear by training, and that's what they're receiving today.
I asked him a question. The question was, did he have any good junior NCOs underneath him, and if so, what made them a good junior NCO? And he just gave us points basically on how to manage and how to manage the team.
The soldiers are about to deploy into the field for 3 weeks as part of the exercise phase of the course.
Right, lads, you've literally got 30 seconds or we're doing a lap as a platoon. Stand behind your kit. No one should need help. Everyone show me the jungle hat, or soft hat. What do you think we're going to do with this before we deploy? Lanyard it. Yeah, tie it on. Why? Yeah, nice and simple, so we don't lose it, lads. It will get caught on a bush. That way it's going to be good to go still on you. Everyone happy with that? Happy days. Everyone lift up the helmets.
If they don't have the right kit, there could be serious consequences in the field. Attention to detail is key.
Scrim?
I've got one that I can attach.
Why is it not on?
Well, because I didn't know whether you wanted scrims or with...
What does it say on here? What does it say?
I just saw a helmet.
Yeah, you know what's coming. Write his name down. We started the kit check. They were 5 minutes late, so we give them the benefit of the doubt. And then about 15 minutes into the kit check, one person, I'm going to mention his name, turned up late. So we're going to re-show them tomorrow morning nice and early at 04. So they had the opportunity to do it today, this morning, have a bit of downtime. However, they've managed to mess it up, so we'll get them up earlier tomorrow and they can do it in the dark. It's basic stuff, especially on a course like this. They're going to be potentially 2 ICs, so their job is to admin their section, and he's proven he can't admin himself by meeting a simple timing. So we'll take their time away from him and we'll see him here at 04 tomorrow morning. It started good, it looked okay, but unfortunately because that person was about 15 minutes late, we're not going to keep repeating ourselves, so they can all suffer together at 04 now.
The students hope they've done enough to impress the directing staff with their basic soldiering skills and ability to work in a team. The hard work is yet to come. They must prove they can lead fellow soldiers out in the field. For the next 3 weeks, they'll be doing the job of a lance corporal.
We don't want people who just know the drills and that what they should do is X, Y, Z and just follow it through. We need people who can think about it, think about what they're going to do, because ultimately, at some point in the future, they might be asked to do this for real.
Right, section commander, closing.
As second in command, they have to display strong leadership and stepping up as section commander when needed.
What we're going to go through now is the considerations you need to start thinking about for being a Section 2 IC and a section commander.
They'll have to make live decisions about whether they should go left flanking or right flanking or any other host of options, and we need them to show that they can do that and think about it in a way that ultimately achieves the mission. And
Right, sounds 2 IC gunner, are you roughly happy?
Yeah, happy.
Yeah. Section commander grenadier, are you happy? Yeah.
The pressure ramps up and they discover the extra responsibilities a lance corporal has to bear.
So they've been out in the field now for 2 days. At this point they've received a set of orders which have been written down, and at that point they have to extract and then deliver a set of orders themselves to a member of the directing staff, which is now what they're currently doing. We all know this is the first time you've done it. We're not expecting miracles, okay? What we're looking for is a logical plan extracted from the orders you've already been given. After this, they're going to go out on the ground and do the thing that they've been tasked to do. In this case, it's a recce on an enemy position. So from here, they'll get their team together, they'll look to step off, get to where they need to find the enemy, locate them, and come back. And at that point, they have 4 hours to write a report on what they've seen, called a patrol report. What we're looking for is, have they extracted the key bits of information from a wider set of orders, and what parts are relevant to them, and are they able to articulate that plan in a way that's simple. It's pretty intimidating the first time you do it, but it does get easier, and so we are currently breaking the ice and putting them in a world where you're no longer a follower, you're a leader.
Who do you think's given the best orders?
To be fair, I'm hoping I did, but by the looks of some people are still going, so they probably put more meat on the bone, but all in all good. Pretty happy with how it went. Try not to misread anything, try not to miss anything. And just taking a moment just to slow it down.
Orders delivered. The soldiers patrolling well into the morning.
We finally got eyes on the enemy and got the information we needed and required. We're moving back through our series of RVs into our stop, short, snap ambush, back into our harbour, and then write our patrol report on our findings.
It's the first time most of these soldiers have written a patrol report.
All brand new to us. I mean, between us, we've probably only done 2 or 3 before. And it is just a very long process and there's a lot of detail that goes into it. And if you don't get the information on the ground, you then have to relate it back to your map.
And how does it feel to be handing them in to your section commanders?
Oh, it feels amazing, do you know what I mean? It's going to be something that they're going to use to plan an attack that we're essentially going to have to do.
And a good sense of humour always helps.
What makes it quite unique for us to do it here in Cyprus is, firstly, the terrain is really demanding and that makes some really good soldiering. Secondly, the heat is also really difficult and means that the people we're training to command and lead in the future, we're testing that they can do it under what is actually a live and demanding threat to those people. Thirdly, Cyprus offers us an amazing opportunity. There are loads of assets here in terms of other units, military working dogs, helicopters, and a whole host of other things which we just wouldn't have access to back in the UK.
I've never worked with dogs or EOD before. That was a new thing. It was good to, you find an explosive, you actually carry out the correct drills, you call in the area, you send up your EOD report, and then EOD physically come in with their robot and deal with the explosive there. It just felt a lot more real than it would have done otherwise.
The soldiers on the ground, they were out on a patrol this morning and they had identified this. Subsequently, what they'd done then is they'd called us out to this area, and then we've responded. We set up a cordon, an evac around this area, just so we can have a look at it in more detail and fully identify what it is that they've found, so we can neutralise that threat.
It's averaging 32 degrees during the day, so the students are doing most of their attacks at night. Challenging, but also more realistic for heading on operations.
We're into this period of the final exercise where we absolutely have already started to identify people who are in the running to be the top student and who we look to promote very quickly. And one of the things I'm out here tonight is watching some of them to see who might decide is the top student. And there are also students who are struggling, and so these serials are about giving them a bit more time and experience and appointment to see if they get it after a little bit longer, but also there are some who are under the microscope because they haven't yet met the standard.
The soldiers on the cadre have been learning how key communication is when operating at night, but working in broad daylight doesn't necessarily make things any easier. In very hot conditions, on little sleep, the soldiers have been learning to work with surveillance drones, military working dogs, all whilst dealing with an aggravated civilian population.
Obviously I had a little bit of an aggressive push towards the enemy threat being in the area. So what the other call sign's looking to do is to try and de-escalate it. However, with limited manpower in hand, things that they are struggling. So the packs are starting to move up towards our location. What I've done is I've just set out a section worth of men to be able to try and de-escalate the situation if it gets to that level. Hopefully we don't want it to, but we're prepared for it just in case. The drone is very helpful. Obviously it gives me that 360-degree battle space and things all around. There has been noted threats on the other side of the high feature there with 3 times potential enemy carrying weapon systems. So by having the ability of having the drone, it gives me that ability to keep eyes on the high feature, but also keep track of what's happening in the low ground whilst we're up high and I can't directly see down there.
Morning, troop. Morning, sir. Welcome to the sword lane.
At the end of getting to the fight, they need to be able to lead and command when they get there. So the final test of the exercise was a sword lane, which was very physically demanding.
It's one of those things, so you know it's coming, you just don't know when. And the DS are quite tight-lipped, and they don't tell you when. And you sort of second guess yourself. There's always that chitter-chat between the section of 2 course where you're like, it could be them. And you sort of like, you're just in your head about it. It's sort of like a shock and capture. So when it came, it was just like, we most of us had slept for 3 days, like, we were sort of just accepting it, what it is, just get it done. You know it's coming. So yeah, it's just trying to roll with the punches at that stage, sort of like,
a lot of PT on the beach, followed by the lane itself, conducting kind of the infantry's core mission of closing with and killing the enemy.
Get up here! Come on! Get up here now! Get up here! Move! Get up here!
Take a knee now. Take a knee. Face it down there. You've been detached from your platoon, right? You're going to go through this pocket of enemy throughout. Right, when you can't see enemy, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Get out! What are you going to do? Let's go! Let's go!
They then transition straight into military knowledge tests to prove that they can retain the knowledge and continue to lead even at the point where they're absolutely exhausted. And that's what we're using physical tests to really try and deliver here.
Right, you said you're good enough to be on this course, yeah? Right, start showing me you are. King, what are the principles of LOAC?
The military knowledge bit at the end was all right. I didn't expect that, to be fair.
How did you do?
I did all right. I did fine on that. That's not the make or break bit of bayonet, though, is it?
Take a knee, take your helmet off, take your weapon off. Remind me of your name.
Rifleman Dunham, sir.
Rifleman Dunham. Okay, congratulations, Rifleman Dunham. That is the end of Final X, I promise. Okay, no more surprises except one. Okay, in a second, Corporal Robert's going to lead you around this TCV. You're going to take your webbing with you, helmet with you, lay it down neatly.
Yes,
You're then going to get a bacon bat, a Snickers, a Powerade, many juices you want, many brews you want. You're going to sit looking out over the Mediterranean with your mates and chill out.
Happy with that, sir.
Happy with that? Cool.
Thank you.
Off you go. Well done.
It was quite difficult, but quite enjoyable, to be fair. It was really challenging because we've been a bit sleep deprived for the last 36 hours. It's challenging. Can't actually wait to get some sleep. That would be the best one. Get some sleep. It's done now, so time to put my feet up and relax.
That's what we expect from our junior NCOs. We expect them to go that extra mile, to find that last 10% inside them and push themselves all the way through to the end without quitting. And every single one of them this morning proved that they've got that fighting spirit, the aggression to get through to the end, and every single one of them performed phenomenally.
Relief across their faces as they complete the exercise phase of this course, learning what it takes to be a Lance Corporal in the field. It's back to barracks, the leaders amongst the pack starting to emerge. After 3 challenging weeks in the field, the directing staff are in this room deciding who hasn't quite met the standard and who's come out on top as we head into the final part of the course.
Firstly, there are limited spaces for promotion across one rifles, but also 3 rifles and all the other places that people have come from. It's pretty tough to fail some of those people. It's not a nice conversation to have, especially with some of them at the end of the final exercise when they had put their heart and soul into 3 weeks of really demanding soldiering, some of them close to tears at the end of the sword lane, and to tell them the next day they haven't quite met the standard.
The 47 students who have made the cut will be responsible for teaching junior soldiers how to safely and accurately use their weapons on the ranges.
If you look at his angle, his rifle's going that way, and he's going off like that at an angle, right. So he needs to bring his back to the right.
Just checking on the firers, making sure they're doing the correct drills and skills on the weapon system, and then obviously if they're not, then you can correct it there rather than having a casualty potentially later down the line.
With the course coming to an end, the soldiers get given a taste of what their future could be like if they carry on climbing the leadership ladder.
Enjoy the dinner night, take it for what it is and enjoy yourself, but do not make a fool of yourself, okay? Go and get yourself a drink.
Some say it's the most exclusive club in the world. You can only get in by promoting up the ranks.
Feels good to get out of the normal working dress, everyone dressed up smart, everyone looking at each other as well, dressing quite smart as well. It's a good feeling, it's a good bit of morale as well. It does make you feel quite proud, make you feel like you've achieved something as well, especially being at the end of the course.
68 started the course. For the 47 who are left, a parade is the only thing standing between them and the finish line.
You have achieved a huge amount over the last 7 weeks. We worked out that in About 47 days of training, you've had 3 days off, which is difficult by anyone's money. You've done 20 days on exercise, which is more than the vast majority of cadres. As individuals, you've each done 15 section attacks, 14 platoon attacks, 7 recces, and a whole host of other stuff.
Now the 47 who remain march on for the final time, ready to promote to Lance Corporal.
The students who passed the course today, many of them will promote within the next month or two. Others may take a bit longer, but within the next 12 months, they all will be Lance Corporals, and all will then have a group of 4 riflemen, some of them brand new out of training, who will look to them as the person who leads, manages, inspires them and gets them to the right place at the right time.
A lot of them will say the pass off doesn't mean a lot, but it will do. Friends and family and that.
A particularly proud day for Private Aaron Todd, who was awarded top student. He's joined the cadre from the Princess of Wales's Royal Regiment.
It feels good. It's good to represent Cat Badge in a good light on this cadre. Take one day at a time. I just want to focus on being a good Lance Corporal before I move on to anything else.
Third place on the course is Rifleman Brendan Smith, who was also voted Rifleman's Rifleman by his platoon.
I wasn't expecting it at all. It caught me off guard completely, and to be recognised as being like one of the better riflemen or tigers, yeah, it's a huge amount of pride.
Major! Sound the double!
Yeah, proud. It's that's job done now, so time to go home.
I've been able to rank up today, so I'm really, really happy. As a human being, always expect to progress in life because that's what we are all living for.
Yeah, I do feel proud. Yeah, done the course, passed the course. Just want to go out and go see my family now. So yeah.
What's been the best? Probably this moment right now. Just finally finished it all. Being able to go back and relax. And then the hardest would probably be sword. Sword was pretty tasty.
Loved ones have travelled far and wide to join the celebrations.
I can't believe it. I absolutely cannot believe it. So proud of him. He doesn't like it when I say that, but it's phenomenal. I can't believe how he's made it this far. Band, the atmosphere, everything. They look so smart in their uniform. Lovely. The whole ethos of the day is just something about British military tradition, isn't there, that like nothing else.
The cadre DS, particularly the corporals and the sergeants and the platoon commanders, have worked incredibly hard, so they do the same hours as the students. Admittedly, they know probably what's coming most of the time, but it's still a lot of work. They've still spent every weekend away from their family, and they did weeks, if not months, of prep.
A lot of them arrived very anxious, not believing in themselves, sort of as basic riflemen and with their basic soldiering skills. So it's been really fantastic to see that potential has been realised, and they've sort of come from zero to hero, and they are now showing the qualities of a junior NCO.
It's said the rank of Lance Corporal is the hardest to get and easiest to lose. These soldiers will wear their new rank slide with pride, joining the British Army's next generation of junior leaders. Sophie Kakianis, BFBS Forces News, Cyprus. Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.